Y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Watch Us Thrive podcast. This is your girl, Leanne. I know y'all who are watching on YouTube are looking at me like, what the fuck is going on, sis? I promise you, I'm not trying to look like a douchebag, but I recently got a new tattoo. Ooh, it's literally 3 days old. In less than 2 weeks, I'm gonna get this cover up finally. I'm gonna tell the story of this one day. But I'm getting an entire sleeve done. And the glasses are just fire because what the fuck? But yeah, that's why I look insane. But I promise you, once you see the full vision of this sleeve, you're going to be like, damn, that's a bad bitch right there. Period. But anyway, that's not what this conversation is about. Again, I'm late with the solo episodes. Y'all, give me a fucking break. No one complained except myself to me. But your girl has been going through it. And I've had a lot of realizations and epiphanies. This is me speaking them to y'all and letting you know what the fuck has been going on and where I'm at in this season of my life and on my healing journey. This episode, and I have notes from my assistant, aka ChatGPT, aka Chat, we're going to be talking about growing out of your comfort zone. I'm going to do it in a new format that I'm testing out when it comes to long form content and podcast episodes, and that is a tarot reading. Breaking news, if you haven't realized it, or if you don't follow me on social media, if you're meeting me for the first time, I'm new to posting my tarot reading contents out there for people to judge. I've been doing this behind the scenes for well over a year now. I had taken a break when I took a year-long sabbatical from my business and I was fucking going through it and almost wanted to end my life. And if you haven't heard that episode, I'll link it in the show notes for you. But I have been deeply into this world for a minute. But no one knew about that. And after having a really meaningful couple of conversations with my partner, I realized that it is time for me to step out of my comfort zone because I've been stuck in complacency in many areas of my life for far too long. And I had a huge reality check yesterday. It was definitely an eye-opening experience for me that I have outgrown the current life that I am living. And I want to figure out what is holding me back and what is holding the collective back, because now I do post my content out there for social media and I'm slowly growing this business. And the more that I do this type of content, the more that it's going to grow, right? But I'm putting myself outside of my comfort zone because I've been living in this space for far too long. A lot of you think your comfort zone is protecting you, but it is actually keeping you stuck. And that is the epiphany that I had yesterday, which was what inspired this episode. I'm going to do a reading on what happens when you outgrow your comfort zone and what you need to step into next. Okay. So this is also going to be a reading for myself. I really like doing self readings. I've been doing them on me for a very long time. And the more that I'm starting to intuitively tap into the meanings of the card, it's just helping me get more confident in trusting in my intuition, if that makes sense. Okay. Before we even start with this reading, I'm going to set the intention. For those who are watching on YouTube, you see periodically some smoke coming out in the corner. I currently have my incense lit to cleanse the energy. I have my selenite wand. I have a candle lit. I have the lo-fi music. I have my crystals. I always love setting intention and cleansing the energy before doing any reading, whether it's on myself or on a client. This is the energy, this is the collective that I'm speaking to. Release anything, any energies of people that you interact with. Let's set the intention to cleanse it so we can gain clarity. We can gain whatever guidance that our spirit team needs to speak to us, and we're open and receptive to understanding the reading. Okay, I'm gonna pull 5 cards. The first part of the reading that we're gonna focus on is the comfort zone. We're gonna talk about what's keeping you stuck. The second card we're gonna focus on is the wake-up call. What situation is forcing this growth of you stepping out of your comfort zone, okay? The third pull that I'm gonna do is the fear. What people are actually afraid of losing, okay? I think it's really important to focus on that, because once we know what we're afraid of losing, then we'll be able to create a plan on what to do next. Number 4, the breakthrough. What happens when you do decide to step out of your comfort zone? And then lastly, what action step do you need to do next? Before I start shuffling the cards, I also want to put out the channeled song for this reading. I'm someone who's really into music, and I've been starting to hear songs that inspire intuitive readings that I want to send out to the collective. So on my way home from work today, I was listening to Escape from LA by The Weeknd. While this song specifically doesn't really have to do a lot with certain areas of growing from your comfort zone, it definitely resonates with growing out of comfort zones of like toxic dynamics and situations and falsehoods of our livelihoods, if you know what I mean. Escape from LA by The Weeknd is basically about the dark side of fame, love, and living in LA. It's not just a literal escape song, it's emotional and psychological too. He paints LA as this place that's glamorous on the outside but fake and draining underneath. Everyone's chasing something like fame, validation, or attention. It's seductive but empty. I was like, yes, exactly. There's a false illusion. And he's grown out of living this life of wanting to chase the money and the women and the fame and the parties and the drugs and the sex and the booze and that shit gets fucking exhausting. Toxic relationships. The song dives into a relationship where there's cheating, mistrust, and emotional detachment. He knows it's unhealthy, but he's still in it. That push-pull energy is heavy throughout the track. And I think that push-pull, being afraid of stepping away from something toxic and unhealthy that you're comfortable with, is the fear of the unknown. And that's what keeps a lot of us stuck. Numbness from fame. There's this feeling of being desensitized. Fame, sex, partying, none of it hits the same anymore. He's surrounded by people but still feels alone. How many of y'all are in relationships with someone and you feel like you're single? Wanting to escape but not really leaving. The title suggests he wants out, but the deeper meaning is that he's stuck in a cycle. LA becomes symbolic of his lifestyle, his habits, and his emotional patterns. You can't just leave that without doing the inner work. It's about realizing that the life you thought you wanted is actually draining you, but you're still caught in it. The life you thought you wanted, or the life you feel like you can't escape from, is not what you want. And you want to do something about it. You finally had the realization. I finally had the download yesterday that it's like, yo, it's time for you to stop treating this business like a hobby. No, you got to start embodying being the boss, entrepreneur, full-time tarot reader, or you're going to be stuck at your 9 to 5 for the rest of your fucking life. And you know you're not meant to be there forever. So what do you have to do? You got to get the fuck out of your comfort zone, babe. We're about to step into Aries season, which is the beginning of the zodiac. It is fire sign. Fire is wand energy. Wand energy is fast. It's creativity. It's confidence. It's passion. It's new things. We are releasing. We are letting go of old versions of ourselves that no longer align with the new version of ourselves that we are stepping into. Right now, we're in this very uncomfortable liminal space, the in between. You're not the old version of yourself anymore, but you're not quite the new version of yourself that you know that you're stepping into. So you're sitting in this really uncomfortable in between space. So as I cleanse the energy and I begin to shuffle the cards, I just want to set the intention that we're open to receiving clarity, we're open to receiving truth, honesty, and we're open to hearing and understanding what we need to hear, not what we want to hear. And we know the difference between the two. So it is, and so it shall be. And we're also going to focus on the next aligned steps that we need to know, especially for our purpose, our freedom, and the life that we are building. I'm going to start shuffling the cards. And if you're finding this message, I trust that you're supposed to, but please, like I always say, do not make the message fit. If you don't resonate with the message, keep it moving. But if you do, I trust that you're supposed to find it. The current energy of the collective's emotional and spiritual energy is the High Priestess upright, the Four of Cups in reverse, the Ten of Wands upright, and Strength upright, with the Four of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So the current energy of the collective with the High Priestess upright is you're being called to really trust in your intuition and to look inward. There's something really bubbling up to the surface that's wanting to come and show you that some change needs to happen, but you're not fully aware of what that is. With the Four of Cups in reverse, there's some sort of moving away that's really stagnant. Someone is starting to open their eyes to opportunities or some sort of emotional growth that they may have been ignoring. Something's prompting you to re-engage with life and wanting to like feel again. Collective, y'all have been on autopilot. Okay, this is the energy that you are embodying right now, but you know, with the high priestess upright, trust in your intuition because you know what it is that you need to do. You're realizing that. You're coming to the conclusion, to the emotional realization that something's got to give, collective. With the 10 of Wands in reverse, you're starting to release the burdens that you're feeling, letting go feelings of overwhelm, and also like lightening the load and taking the burden off of you. There's this sense that you've carried too fucking much for way too long, and now you're figuring out how to stop overextending and overpouring into everyone else, emotionally and spiritually. It's time to take care of yourself and realize that if you're not good, no one else around you is going to be. So it's okay to be selfish. It's actually self-full. And with strength upright, this is for my wounded warriors. I know, collective, it has been hard, okay? I understand that 2025 was probably one of the hardest fucking years of your life. It was for me, okay? And I'm still emotionally and physically and financially and spiritually healing from that shit, all right? So I get it. But with the strength card, I feel like you have this sense of resiliency. You're strong as fuck. You're someone who's compassionate, and you know this. Like, even though things may still feel challenging, we're tapping into this sense of patience and perseverance and really just reaching levels of emotional fucking mastery. So, really, collective, the current energy that you're in is you're stepping into your intuition. You're stepping into this inner knowing. You know that you're ready for more. You know that you're ready to step outside of your comfort zone, but you don't necessarily know what's the next step to take. And that's going to be the last part of the reading. I also feel like you're open to emotional opportunities and ready to start pouring into yourself. I really feel like you're opening up to this sense of like emotional opportunities, and you're getting the sense of clarity. Like I said, with your intuition and your third eye opening up, you're realizing that something's off and it's time to recalibrate, release what no longer serves us so we can step into this next version of our higher selves. And like I said, with the 10 of Wands, you're letting go of this unnecessary weight. You're letting go of the past. You're letting go of the things that no longer serve you. As I said, you're just ready to let go of the old version of you who was comfortable with your comfort zone. It's go time, babe. Aries season is upon us. And then finally, I feel like with the strength card, you're really just stepping into your personal power and you're stepping into your confidence. You're ready to release what no longer serves you. You're listening to your intuition and you're reclaiming your personal power. I can attest to that 1000%, especially with the epiphany that I had yesterday. Now let's go into the second part of the reading. Spirit team, what does the collective need to release or outgrow so they can step into the next level version of themselves? Okay, for the second part of this reading, we got the Lovers upright, the Knight of Swords upright, the Empress upright, and the Three of Swords upright. With the Lovers upright, I feel like the collective is being asked to release old relationship patterns and patterns of codependency. And I'm not only just talking about romantic relationship patterns, I'm also talking about mental thought processes that you've been stuck in or ruminating over really negative patterns. Maybe you're not letting go of a friendship or a work environment or a living situation. Whatever it is that resonates for you, collective. This is more so about how you're relating to yourself and to others. I feel like the collective is ready to choose alignment over comfort, and you're stepping into being your true, authentic self over staying in something that feels familiar. The next card you got is the Knight of Swords upright, and I feel like with this card, collective, there's this sense of urgency to do something, to act, to make a decision, and to cut through the old mental thinking patterns that has been keeping you stuck in this cycle, that you're finally ready to break free. You may be feeling like you're in some sort of mental rut. Maybe you're just ruminating over the same obsessive negative thoughts and you're ready to just get rid of thinking like that. I feel like the collective is also ready to outgrow indecision, because also not making a decision is a decision. Sorry to break that to you, collective. I think you're also done with overthinking or chasing what doesn't serve you. Letting go of these relationships that no longer serve you, and not just the romantic ones, you know? Maybe you have outgrown your job. Maybe you've outgrown your living situation. Maybe you've outgrown certain family members or friendships or coworkers or whatever it is that you're associating this reading with. I feel like the collective knows that it's time to move boldly and to be decisive. Make a fucking decision, collective. Collective, it's time to make a decision. You know this. with the High Priestess. Trust your intuition. It's time to move, babe. Talking and acting are two completely different things. You know what you need to do. The next card that the collective got is the Empress Upright, and I feel like y'all are ready to step into nurturing yourselves. Like I said in the beginning of the fucking reading, you're ready to be selfish. You're ready to pour back into yourself. You're ready to put your oxygen mask on first, okay, collective? And I really feel like you're ready to nurture something creative, and you're ready to step into abundance. You're done clinging on to levels of comfort. You're done limiting your fucking growth. And I feel like this is the energy of self-care. You're manifesting and you're creating a life that is truly nourishing you. You're done with the bullshit, collective. And this may not resonate for everyone, but I do feel like there's some people in the collective that are ready to heal from heartbreak. You're ready to heal from disappointment and really just emotional pain that you've been experiencing in whatever relationship that's resonating with you. I feel like you're ready to let go of something that betrayed you in your past. You're letting go of grief. You're letting go of attachments that are keeping you stuck. And you're really letting go of familiar patterns that you have been stuck in for many, many years. For some, many months, but I feel like a lot of the collective, this has been many, many years of you just feeling stuck. And you're ready to let that shit go. So good for you. I'm so fucking proud of you and you're doing a great job. If no one else told you today, let me be the one to remind you, you're doing a great job, collective. We're doing a great job. All right, now we're going to move on to the third part of the reading, and this is going to be guidance from the spirit team. Spirit team, what energy or opportunity should the collective focus on, especially if they're an entrepreneur or a business owner that's aligned with their life and their purpose? All right, y'all. So for the third part of this reading, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Magician, the Four of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands in reverse. With the King of Pentacles in reverse, this is reminding the collective to stop clinging to the old idea of security or success, okay? I really want you to remember that true abundance comes from doing what actually lights you the fuck up. I've come to the realization that I have outgrown many areas of my life, and I'm finally doing something about it, and not just talking the talk, but actually walking the walk. That's why I'm posting all of my tarot readings, because I'm so ready to step into this next version of myself. And I'm letting go this idea of what success looks like from everyone else and just realizing, what does success mean to me? What does freedom look like for me? What does living authentically in my truth, what does that version of Leanne look like? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. And then those are the characteristics that you need to start embodying. The second card you got, collective, is the Magician Upright. This is reminding you that you already have everything that you need to create the life that you want. You have the skills, the ideas, and most importantly, with the High Priestess in the beginning of the reading, you have the intuition. So I really need the collective to realize that you have the power to change your life in your hands. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? The next card you got is the Four of Pentacles upright, and the guidance that you need to hear, collective, is that it's time for you to let go of fear and control, because holding too tight to these fears and holding on too tight to this control and this sense of, I don't know what's gonna happen next, so I'm just gonna stay stuck. That's the reason why you're feeling stuck. You're holding on too tight, collective. Let it the fuck go. Release the past. It no longer serves you. You are no longer that version of yourself, collective. It's time to let go. And then finally, with the Five of Wands in reverse, collective, it's time for you to forget about the competition. If you're someone who's been experiencing some sort of drama in your relationships, or if you've been having like these small petty fights, it's time to let that shit go. I want you to focus on your path and focus on growing. All right. So collective, I feel like the energy in this part of the reading, it's reminding you that you have the tools and you have the knowing of what it is that you need to do in order to step into the next version of yourself. I want you to stop allowing the control and the fear hold you back from making that decision to move forward. Let go of these outdated ideas, these outdated mindsets that probably were just passed down to you from generation to generation, and focus on creating the life that you truly want. That's what matters the most, because I promise you, collective, that's where the opportunities are. So the fourth part of the reading that I want to focus on is, what is holding you back from stepping into your power and your freedom? That's what I want to know. What is the block that is showing up for the collective? All right, collective. So for this part of the reading, you got the Five of Pentacles upright, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Eight of Pentacles upright, and the Page of Cups in reverse. So collective, for the first part of this reading, you got the Five of Pentacles upright. I feel like the collective may be feeling left out. You may be feeling unsupported or like there's never enough. I feel like the collective is also struggling with a scarcity mindset. And I'm sensing this belief that you cannot succeed or that opportunities are not available to you. That's what's holding you back. If you think negative, collective, you're going to get negative. You need to start switching your mindset and start taking the steps for you to step out of that scarcity. The next card that the collective got was the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like a huge block for the collective is your impatience or feelings of frustration. I feel like the collective wants results like yesterday. Social media has y'all fucked up thinking that the world is an overnight success and all of these influencers and content creators and celebrities are just successful overnight. While yes, that happens sometimes, you gotta relax, collective. You gotta do the work. I feel like the collective might also give up too soon when you're not seeing immediate results and you're someone who's not trusting the process. Collective, it's time for you to start trusting in the process. With the Eight of Pentacles upright, this is really interesting energy because it shows that the collective has the skills and y'all do have potential to make something really successful. But I feel like you might also be overworking yourself or feeling sense of like burnout, or you may be focusing on things that aren't moving you forward. Maybe you're stuck in relationships that are not moving you forward. Maybe you're stuck in dynamics that are not moving you forward. Maybe you're stuck in a job that you fucking hate. But you have the potential for more, collective. And finally, with the Page of Cups in reverse, I feel like the collective may have some emotional immaturity, or maybe you're feeling insecure. You may also be having a fear of expressing your creative side, or even you're afraid of your intuition. You might be also doubting yourself or second guessing your instincts. Collective, I'm sorry to call you out, and I'm just a messenger, and please do not shoot the messenger, but it's really time for you to step out of this immature mindset and this emotional immaturity as well. Maybe you're someone who's in a relationship with someone who's emotionally stunted, and it's time for you to grow out of that. So, collective, I feel like the blocks that are coming up are mostly mental and emotional. I feel like you're experiencing scarcity mindset. You're someone who's impatient or frustrated. You want something to happen yesterday, but are you really doing the work to get yourself there? Ask yourself those questions and really realize that, like, maybe I've been waiting for permission from someone. Stop waiting for permission, collective. Stop waiting for permission to live your life, to become abundant, to step into your truth and your power. We all have that within us. What are you going to do about it to get to that point? And also, collective, I really want you to trust your skills, okay? Trust in your intuition. Trust that you know what it is that you need to do. Stop underestimating your intuition and your creativity. You have it within you. It's time for you to show up and let people see you. And maybe that means removing relationships and situations that no longer serve you. I'm just saying. Now we're getting to the last part of the reading. I want to focus on alignment and next steps. So, Spirit Team, what is the aligned next step that the collective needs to take to move forward with confidence, clarity, and purpose? These are the cards that you got. You got the Four of Swords in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse, the Six of Swords in reverse, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. All right, collective. So with the Four of Swords in reverse, the next step that you need to take is to stop overthinking or waiting for the perfect moment to make a decision, to start the business, to take the next step in order for you to create your dream life. Action is needed now, even if it feels uncomfortable. Do the shit scared, babe. Because resting too long or overanalyzing is keeping the growth on pause. It's time for you to move, babe. No more thinking, no more dreaming, no more wishing, no more hoping, no more manifesting. It's time to take action. Aligned action. With the King of Swords in reverse, collective, I need you to let go of the rigid thinking. Stop being so controlling or trying to force outcomes through only thinking with logic. All right? You don't need to have everything figured out, and intellect alone is not going to get you to the life that you want. Like I said before, you need to not just think, not just talk, but also walk, also do, also be. It's go time, babe. Let's fucking go. Collective, with the Six of Swords in reverse, I want you to stop hesitating to leave old patterns, places, and situations. It's time to leave that shit behind. I've been saying that in so many other readings for the collective. I want you to stop staying stuck where it feels safe or stagnant. Repeat after me. Don't stay stuck where it's safe but stagnant. It's time to move forward, collective, even if the path is unclear. Even if you don't know what's the next step, it's time for you to move. And finally, collective, with the Eight of Wands in reverse, I want you to slow down enough to align your actions with your intention. Okay? Don't make rash decisions. I know you're a collective who's really in your head. I understand that. I am a Virgo sun. I overthinking, okay? But I really want the collective to remember that moving fast, rapid movement without focus and without a plan, that shit leads to burnout and you just getting right back on the hamster wheel that you're trying to break free from. All right, collective. So that is the end of this podcast episode and this reading. I really hope that someone out there was able to resonate and to gain clarity from the cards. And I really hope that you were able to understand it in a way that made sense for you. I really hope you were able to understand what it is that you're carrying, what it is that you need to release, and what steps do you need to take in order to move forward in creating your dream life. Remember that you have the power, the tools, the intuition, the skills, and the confidence to do whatever it is you need to do to live the life of your dreams and to thrive while doing it. You don't need to show up perfectly. You just need to show up. And remember to show up for yourself first before anyone else. Thank you so much, y'all, for connecting with me. If you're interested in your own personal reading, I'm going to share in the links below how to book. And also, don't forget to follow me on social media. I post a bunch of readings for the collective for free on my Instagram, my TikTok, and my YouTube channel. Until next time, y'all, this is your girl Leanne, the creator and host of the Watch Us Thrive podcast. I'm an intuitive oracle and tarot card reader, podcaster, content creator, and coach, and I will see you in the next episode.